Occupational Health and Safety, Part 2. Purpose of the Act: to provide for the health and safety of persons at work and for the health and safety of persons in connection with the use of plant and machinery, to protect the protection of persons other than persons at work against hazards to health and safety arising out of or in connection with the activities of persons at work, to establish an advisory council for occupational health and safety, and to provide for matters connected thereto. Section 8. General duties of employers to their employees. Every employer shall provide and maintain a working environment that is safe and without risk to the health of his employees, without derogating from the generality of the employer's duties under Section 1. The matters to which those duties refer include, in particular, the provision and maintenance of systems of work, plant and machinery that are safe and without risk to health, taking such steps as may be reasonably practicable to eliminate or mitigate any hazard or potential hazard to the safety or health of employees before resorting to personal protective equipment, making arrangements for ensuring the safe and absence of risk to health in connection with the production, processing, use, handling, storage or transport of articles or substances, establishing what hazards to the health or safety of persons are attached to any work which is performed, any article or substance which is produced, processed, used, handled, stored or transported, and any plant or machinery which is used in his business, and he shall, as far as is practicable, further establish what precautionary measures should be taken with respect to such work, article, substance, plant or machinery in order to protect the health and safety of persons, and he shall provide the necessary means to apply such precautionary measures. Providing such information, instructions, training and supervision as may be necessary to ensure the health and safety of his employees, not permitting any employee to do any work or to produce, process, use, handle, store or transport any article or substance, or to operate any plant or machinery unless the precautionary measures contemplated in paragraph B and D or any other precautionary measures which may be prescribed have been taken, taking all necessary measures to ensure the requirements of this act are complied with by every person in his employment or on premises under his control where plant or machinery is used. Enforcing such measures as may be necessary in the interest of health and safety, ensuring that work is performed and that plant or machinery is used under the general supervision of a person trained to understand the hazards associated with it and who has been the authority to ensure that precautionary measures taken by the employer are implemented, and causing all employees to be informed regarding the scope of their authority as contemplated in Section 37. General duties of employees and self-employed persons to persons other than their employees. Every employer shall conduct his undertaking in such a manner as to ensure that persons other than those in his employment who may be directly affected by his activities are not thereby exposed to hazards to their health or safety. Every self-employed person shall conduct his undertaking in such a manner to ensure that he and other persons who may be directly affected by his activities are not thereby exposed to hazards to their health and safety. Section 10. General duties of manufacturers and others regarding articles and substances for use at work. Any person who designs, manufactures, imports, sells or supplies any article for use at work shall ensure that the article is safe and without risk to health when properly used and that it complies with all prescribed requirements. Any person who erects or installs any article for use at workshop or in any premises shall ensure that nothing about the manner in which it is erected or installed makes it unsafe or creates a risk to health when properly used. Any person who manufactures, imports, sells, or supplies any substance for use at work shall ensure that the substance is safe and without risk to health when properly used. Take such steps as may be necessary to ensure that information is available with regards to the use of substance at work, the risk to health and safety associated with such substance, the condition necessary to ensure that the substance will be safe without risk to health when properly used, and the procedures to be followed in case of an accident involving such substance. When a person designs, manufactures, imports, sells, or supplies an article or substance for or to another person, and that other person undertakes in writing to take specific steps sufficient to ensure that the article or substance will comply with all the prescribed requirements and will be safe without risk to health when properly used, the undertaking shall have the effect of relieving the first mentioned person from the duty imposed him by the section to such an extent that he may be reasonable having regard to the terms of the undertaking. Section 13. Duty to inform. Without derogating from any specific duty imposed on an employer by this Act, every employer shall cause every employee to be made conversant with the hazards to his health and safety attached to any work which he has to perform, any article or substance which he has to produce, process, handle, store, or transport, and any plant or machinery which he is required or permitted to use, as well as the precautionary measures which should be taken and observed with respect to those hazards. Inform the health and safety representative concerned beforehand of inspections, investigations, or formal inquiries of which he has been notified by the inspector, and of any application or extension made by him in terms of Section 40, and inform the health and safety representative as soon as is reasonably practicable of the occurrence of an incident in the workplace or section of a workplace or which such representative has been designated. Section 14. General duties of employees at work. Every employee shall at work take reasonable care for the health and safety of himself and other persons who may be affected by his acts or omissions, as regard to any duty or requirement imposed on his employer or any other person by this Act, cooperate with such an employer or person to enable that duty or requirement to be performed or complied with, carry out any lawful order given to him, and obey the health and safety rules and procedures laid down by his employer or by anyone authorized thereto by his employer in the interest of health and safety. If any situation which is unsafe or unhealthy comes to his attention, as soon as is practicable, report such a situation to his employer or to the health and safety representative for his workplace or section thereof, as the cause may be, who shall report it to the employer. And if he is involved in any incident which may affect his health or which has caused an injury to himself, report such an incident to his employer or to an authorized employer or to his health and safety representative as soon as is practicable, but not later than the end of the particular shift during which the incident occurred, unless circumstances were such that the reporting of the incident was not possible, in which case he shall report the incident as soon as practicable thereafter.